Hello, good people. My name is Brenda Mashobo, and thank you so much for stopping by. And if it is the first time you're seeing this face, and if it's the first time you bump into my work, thank you so much. And I'd like you to become part of our family. Please hit that subscribe button, it is absolutely free. And you can hit that notification bell so that whenever I post, you're the first one to know. And without wasting time, judging by the title of this video, you already know how important the session is. So this is a follow-up session that comes after a session called how to fill out a Z83 form. So thank you so much for the support you've been showing there, the comments, the questions, the likes, just the views. I mean, it's making my heart very, very warm right now, and it is making me want to do more sessions that fall under the series job preparedness. So today we are going to be looking at the things that you need to do when you are preparing for a job interview. Okay, without wasting time, let's just get straight to it. The first thing that you need to do is to research about the company that is hiring. You need to know the in and outs of the company. You need to know their values. You need to know the vision. Sometimes there are things that we take for granted. You need to even know the minister or the MEC of that department, especially if you're going for a job interview in the public service, you need to know the principals, So I know sometimes people may think, Peggy Nkonyeni, MEC, Waga Community Safety and Liaison and Transport, so what? Do I need to mention that? You absolutely need to mention that. It can count as a point when you're answering questions. So it is very, very important to understand and to know the company that, is going to be hosting the interviews. It is very important. I cannot stress it enough. It's very important. It is also going to help you, just figure out the angle of the questions. By the angle I mean, for example, you may be going to a job interview with a organization that deals with sex workers. Okay, if you have applied for that post, it is not then for you to go there and post judgments. It's just an example that I'm thinking of, but there is quite a lot of things that you need to prepare yourself. Especially, you may go for a job interview in an ideal situation. If you go for a job interview in a office of a political party, and you are not somebody who affiliates with that party, it is not going to assist you to know what angle that you should be pursuing. It is very, very important. And then moving on, please do not mind me when I look down. I have the notes as well that I have prepared. So I don't want to make a mistake. I don't want to leave out anything. So, in as much as I have prepared these pointers, it is not limited to this. There is something else that you can also do. You do your own research. But I have just come up with the things that I feel they're important right now. We are going to go to do the part 2 of how to prepare for a job interview, because right now we are looking at the face-to-face interviews. And then by the way things are going right now, we will be having Skype interviews, even though you are from the same country and from the same province. With all the pandemic and the restrictions, we might be having virtual interviews. But right now we are catering when we are looking at the face-to-face interviews. Another important point that you need to consider doing is finding a mentor. What do I mean by finding a mentor? Somebody that you can go to and prepare, that somebody that can assist you prepare for this job interview. For some of you, it's going to be the first job interview ever. For some, it is not the first, but you still need a mentor. Somebody in your community, somebody you trust. Could be a teacher, could be a retired principal, could be a doctor, a nurse, depending on the type of job you are applying for. But it is very, very advisable that you find somebody who's going to assist you, somebody who's going to prep you. It is very, very important. I kept mentioning very, very. I'm trying to emphasize it is vital. Your life depends on it. You need a mentor. It is going to make your life easy. You need a mentor, somebody who's going to assist you, see other things, explore other things, prepare other things that you are not going to see when you are working on yourself. So it is very important you can identify a mentor. And if you know somebody from the HR of any department or any organization and corporate, you are very blessed. My sister, my brother, you need to explore that. You need to exploit it. Make sure that you call this person up. If you can meet up, even better. But do something, find a mentor. It is very important. Another point again, you need to re-look at the advert. You go through the advert again. You scrutinize each and every sentence in that advert. It is going to assist you. Some jobs may ask you, depending on the level that you're applying for, some jobs may ask you to state out the duties. What are the duties of the driver, for example? What are the duties of the language assistant? What are the duties of the administration clerk? Things like that. That is like very entry level type of thing, but you still need to know what are the things that they stated in the interview, in the advert, so that you know exactly of the position that you should be in. While you go through the advert, you also check the market related posts that are similar to the advert that you are scrutinizing, the post that you're applying for, so that you know exactly what is it that is expected of you. We need to stop thinking along the lines, oh, they already have their person, this is just a formality. I want you to stop thinking like that. I know it can be a reality to some instances, but right now I just want you guys to prepare yourselves to the T. You make sure that you leave no stone unturned, so that even if they had a person in their mind, you come and you change things, you turn the tables around, because you are going to make sure that you prepare, you over prepare. So you scrutinize the adverts, you look at it again. What is it that they said they're looking for? What are the things that they mentioned? Things that we highlighted there, that's going to assist you in preparing. Now that you have a mentor, you are going to be going through this advert with that person. It is going to be very much, much, much easier now that you have somebody else who's going to help you see the other things that you may not be seeing. So moving on, you need to organize accommodation and transportation. That may sound like, why is it making it, into your list? It is very important as well, because as soon as you know that you are sorted with transports, with accommodation, some of you may require to just borrow some money if you need to be traveling far. Also, while you do that, make sure that you take advantage of the opportunity. Some departments, I know for a fact, my department, I think there is a provision where you can be accommodated. If you come from like far off and you can prove that you're coming far off, you can, apply for accommodation, and then they can accommodate you. Okay, so it's very important that you understand what are the opportunities that are there that you can, take advantage of. So while you do that, trust me, it is going to offload a huge load on your back, knowing how do I get there. Whilst at that, you need to know the exact address, because you don't need to be late. I don't even need to make it a point. I would say you need to be punctual. No, you do not need to be late. Yes, they are going to wait for you. Yes, you are going to be communicating with the person who's going to be amongst the panel, on whoever, some HR person, just to update them. Go to, okay, I'm held up somewhere, public transport, blah, blah, blah. But you need to know the exact address, because things like that can throw you off. They have a possibility of throwing you off. You trying to locate a place, you are late, you just all over the place, your nerves are acting up. You need to be sure of the exact address. You need to be sorted with accommodation. If somebody is going to be hosting you, a friend, a family, a relative, you need to sort it out before the day of the interview. Because once that one is sorted as well, then I just need to deal with, this. All the minor, the little things, but that has possibility to mess me up on the day of the interview. You get rid of those. Be prepared to the T. It is going to throw you off. If you're late, you get in there already, you all over your place, you know what I mean. So sort it out at your earliest convenience. Another thing, you need to be up to date with the current affairs. It is also very important. Every organization, every corporate, every department coexist in our country for the betterment of our community, for the betterment of our society at large. So why am I even making this a point? While you're answering those questions, okay, you need to know what is it that you can take advantage of. If you are going to a job interview, they're looking for a director in women and youth ministry, some government department, and currently, we are battling gender-based violence. If you know those stats, why would you not bring it up in your responses, knowing what these are the statistics, in our country, this is what the country is faced with, and then you respond to those questions, and while using that. I went for a job interview where I am right now. I remember mentioning the crime stats, and I was in Pietermaritzburg, and I said that Pietermaritzburg is the number one in the province, if not in the whole of South Africa, in terms of the crime statistics. You mentioned things like that. You are going to come across as somebody who's well prepared, and you're going to come across as somebody who understands their responsibility. Because if we talk about the society and the things that we need to be active citizen in our country, what is it that we're talking about if we are not having our ears on the ground? You need to show the leadership, that the kind of leadership that you possess, which you know what is happening around you. Trust me, you could be going for a car mechanic post or whatever. There's something still relevant to what you are going to be interviewed on. There's something happening in our country that can still, benefit you. There's something you need to retrieve, some information you need to retrieve, from all the shelves, because now you're trying to make an impression. You want to answer and respond and make sure what you bet the next person. So if you're somebody who's just living in isolation, they don't care about the political trends, they don't care about the economical states of our country, you're missing the point. You need to know, you need to have your ear on the ground. The economy of the country. You could be going for a job interview in the municipality. They're looking for a municipal manager or whoever at different levels, at different posts. There's always something that you can say, you can manipulate with what is happening around you. You need to be somebody who's, aware of their surroundings, and you show that in the way you're answering questions. It is very important. If you are taking anything from this video, take that. You need to know what is happening. You need to know what the company and the organization stands for, and therefore position yourself as an official or as somebody in the administration. You need to touch on the fact that administration is the heart of any organization, and you position yourself basically. I feel like I'm preaching. You go through the possible questions and your responses. Then again, that is where your mentor is going to come in handy. You know for a fact there's going to be a question that is going to be circled around, why do you think you are the suitable candidate for this job? They may phrase it anyhow, but you know it for a fact. Questions like that are going to come up. I am going to be doing a separate video where we are scrutinizing, going through each and every question, like in general, and, just go in depth on how you should answer those questions. But, you have a mentor now. You have taken this job advert. You have scrutinized it word by word till the very last sentence. Now, you are thinking to yourself, how do I bring in my skills, my experience, and my traits into this job that I'm applying for? Okay, just touching on it briefly. Why do you think you're the suitable candidate is going to come up? Why should we hire you, type of thing? Tell us more about yourself. At most, some corporates are moving, towards having practical interviews. I have been a part of a practical interview in my previous job, where I was given an instruction like before, when they called me for a job interview, and then they told me, you prepare a topic of your choice that is going to relate to youth in South Africa, and you have 15 minutes to come and present it, So at least now this is what I need to prepare on. Then again, you need to come up with something relevant to the organization. I remember doing a session on active citizenship. There's a video I once did. It was a story time, just outlining what is it that we did in that organization. So I don't want to go into details, but if you get instructions like those, even better, because you know exactly what is it that you're going to be dealing with. So Your mentor is going to assist you go through the possible questions and how you can answer those questions. I'm tempted to go deeper, but now that I have promised to do a separate video, it's not going to be long after this one. I should be recording it this coming weekend. It shouldn't be long. But you can go through possible questions. You have somebody from the HR department that you know in that organization. You approach them, you give them this advert. What is it that I can prepare myself on? What type of questions can I expect? And then you go through it easy. Moving on from that, I'm also going to touch on a point that other people may not pay attention to, but I'm going to mention it. You need to step into your spirituality. Remember, there's so many unemployed people, unemployed qualifying people from our country, and they don't have jobs. If you are not going to do what you know best in terms of your spirituality, if you're somebody who believes in pahlen, if you're not going to pahla the day before the interview or the day before you travel, if you're not going to fast for this interview, if you're somebody who believes like in praying and prayer and fasting, what is it that you are going to fast for? Yini lozo ipahlela, because now this is a matter of bread and butter, something very, very important. We need to eat at the end of the day. Your family needs to eat. You need to establish yourself. You need to chase your dreams. And this job can be just, the beginning of you achieving those dreams. If you are not going to pasha right now and speak to your ancestors, ubabize bonke, and you'll be like, ngiyahamba ngiye kwi-job interview. Ngicela nihambe nami bomahlobo. If you're not going to pray and say, Lord, I ask of you right now, ukuthi you accompany me. Yes, I am going to prepare, but I also understand there's a spiritual realm that I also need to tap into, because people are not going to be going there, having bath with their normal shampoo, with their normal soap and their normal face wash and things like that, and you think you're going to sleep. You think you're going to say a short prayer just before you enter the interview room? I don't think so, my brother. I do not think so, my sister. You tap into your spirituality as you prepare for this job interview. You pray. You get in your knees. You starve yourself. You're telling yourself, okay, there's 3 days I'm not going to eat because now it's me and you, Jesus. It's just me and you. I'm not going to eat. I just need to sacrifice something for this. Upahle, ushisimpepo. I don't know what else to mention. Whatever, you know your God. You know your God. I mean, you know exactly what is it that you do. I may not mention it right now because I'm not exposed to it, but it is in no way saying the things I've mentioned are superior than your things. No, it is even not a video about religion and spirituality. I'm just saying, you know what is it that you need to do. If you are a witch or you're a wizard, now is about the time you tap into your witch type of thing. No, I'm joking. Don't bewitch people, So you pray, you prepare yourself, and you're like, Lord, it is in your hands. I have prepared. I have, gone through the possible questions. I've found a mentor. I've researched the company I'm going to the T. I know I even know Batopile. You know what that department is not exist in isolation. You located within the manifestos and the what have you. You're going to the municipality. You know your IDP plan to the T. You know it's a municipality that has clean audit 3 times in a row. You know things like that. And that is you researching, by the way. You know the clean audits, you know the things, you know the statistics. If you come to community safety and liaison, you tell us about the crime trends, you tell us about the cases that we've been involved in. You take the state of our province in terms of crime and violence and what have you, and you put it in front of us. Hey, please, leave no stone unturned. If you think it is going to assist you in getting a job, you do it. There's no doubt. There's no questions about it. You take this risk, that risk, you do it. I remember there was a question I was asked on teamwork, about teamwork. I think the question was, in this very job that I'm in, the question was, how do you promote teamwork, or I don't know how exactly it was phrased, but it was about the teamwork. When I was responding to that, yes, I touched on synergies, the whole is more important than some of its part, blah blah blah. But I also spoke of the performance appraisals. You may be thinking to yourself, how does that fit into teamwork? Performance appraisals. It does. I explored that topic on performance appraisals, on how it can encourage the team to do better next time, only to find we live on performance reviews here every quarter, if not almost every quarter. There's a performance review that needs to be, taking place. I sat there and I'm like, oh man, I did so well in this interview, because you just need to assure yourself, ukuthi, I don't know who else was there who wanted this position, but I spoke of this. You speak about a whole lot of things, and you are going to be able to have a lot of things to draw from if you do proper research. You research, if you are somebody who has the ear on the ground, you know exactly what is happening in our country, you are not going to have a problem. Because the plan is to beat the next person. It is a very competitive world, and we all hungry, we all want jobs, we all want promotions, and it depends on how we answer our questions. I said we need to move away from thinking, they already have a person for that job. Yes, they may have somebody they're thinking because they send qualifications and the experience and a wider view, but you go there and you do your job. You go there, you leave no stone unturned, and let's see. Let's have this conversation after that. Let's see what is going to happen. So thank you so much for watching this, and thank you for the love that you have shown me on my how to fill out a Z83 form. I don't know, man. I guess you can tell I'm smiling. It just came naturally. That's like how pleased I am. That's how happy I am. There's a lot of videos that I post on this channel, but a video that has been in my heart is that one. It's that other video. And I said to myself, and I said, Lord, I don't care about any other views. As long as that video gets more views and comments, and so that a lot of people can see it, because the more you comment to your video, the more you like any interactions, it helps with the algorithm, because YouTube can recommend that video to somebody else, as soon as people are typing how to. If it has a lot of engagement in it, YouTube recommends that video to somebody else. So thank you so much, so much. I said there's a video I was doing, and then I mentioned the fact that I'm all about impact. If anything, I want us to eat. I want all of us to eat. I believe there's a big enough bread for all of us. We just need to share slices, and we need to prepare ourselves. We need to equip ourselves, with such conversation, because if you prepare like this, sis, come on. If you prepare like this, you're looking for a promotion, you already have a job, but you want a promotion, you want a better job. Yes, we have jobs that we were not having before, and we appreciate it, and we thank the Lord for it. But we need more. We definitely need more. This is not going to be like where we're going to retire. No. So if you prepare like this, you won't have a problem. I did mention that this is part 1. I'm still going to do part 2, where we're looking at presentations, virtual Skype meetings, Skype interviews rather, and things like that. We are going to be exploring that, and then we're going to go through the possible questions. I mentioned that you need to go through the possible questions, but I did not go into details. I'm going to do a separate video where I go through each and every possible question and the things that you need to do when you're answering questions, because you also need to time yourself. As you time yourself, you need to shy away from mentioning one point and then you elaborate on that one point, and then I'm taking notes. I've only written one point, and then yes, you're going on and on and on, you're giving us examples, but on one point. Those are the things we are also, going to be touching on. So without making this video extra long than it already is, We have come to the end of our video, and thank you so much if you have watched till the end. And let me wish you well in all your applications that you send out. May you be called for an interview, and may you get that job. That's all I'm wishing for you. I want you to get that job. I want what you want for yourself. Everything that you want for yourself, I want it, because I know there's enough for all of us. So until the next video from me, thank you so much. Bye bye.